So after a few years of traveling internationally, Nick and I have ended up back in our homeland, which is British Columbia, Canada. And we are actually just spending some time in Vancouver this summer to save some money before we go on our next big international adventure. But in the meantime, I can't help but get away and plan all of these little trips because BC has so much more to offer than just Vancouver. So right now I'm actually on a mountain in beautiful Naramata, BC. And while Nick had to change his plans last minute to be available for family and work, everything was already planned. So I have a very special guest this week, and that will be my mom. Now, Naramata is actually quite literally a dead-end street. Its downtown is only like maybe 2 blocks long, but it's definitely a place that stood out to Nick and I when we first started doing van life. So our first year and a half of van life we spent in the Okanagan. Actually, we were living out of Kelowna in our van, working brick and mortar jobs and exploring as much of the Okanagan as we could on our time off. We remembered Naramata for its quaintness, its windy roads, beautiful vineyards, and just like really good attitude here. So this week, I want to show you one of the Okanagan's last hidden gems. So come along as we explore breweries, vineyards, as we get out onto the lake, do hikes. I think this is going to be a really fun week, so without further ado, let's get out of here. After driving 5 hours from Vancouver, we were hungry and stopped at Cannery Brewing in Penticton. I got a flight to try their craft beers, and while they aren't a vegan brewery, they do have some really good vegan options on their menu, and of course we had to try them all. It's not really the nicest day outside right now, but it does get very, very busy here, obviously here in the summer, and the vibe is just like so perfect. I was just talking to the owner for quite a bit of time here. My favorite thing that she said was she was like, it's been like one customer at a time, building a community, and I thought that was really special. And one of my favorite things about coming to these like smaller towns in BC, right, like coming to Penticton and Naramata, because yeah, it really is all just like super community based, and one of my favorite parts about living in the Okanagan in general. So this is literally the embodiment of what I love about the Okanagan. We just got here and like I haven't even done my hair yet or anything, but we're off to a good start, so let's see what else we can find. The first thing that you have to know about the Okanagan region of BC is that it's known for its wine. And while we are planning on drinking wine all day tomorrow, we are stopping for a quick tasting at Three Sisters Winery on our way to find our accommodation for the night. You know, after our first day of getting here, and it takes about like 4.5, 5 hours, depending on traffic, it could take more, or how fast you drive could take less, to get to the Okanagan. But once you get here, it's kind of like, I've honestly always felt like this place is home to us, and I'm actually really sad that Nick's not here because we're about to go taste some of the wine, and I'd love to take you along. We just met Matt, the owner here, and already having a great time, so let's go try some wine. Since it was a Wednesday, we stopped quickly at the Naramata Slow Farmers Market on the way to find our cabin in the woods, about an 18-kilometer drive up a mountain where we nestled in for the night. So today it is 8:30. I went to bed at like 8:30 last night. So that means I slept almost 12 hours. That is just indicative of how tired I've been for the past week. So much has been going on, and like I got strep throat last week, and then now my thumb is in this, but we're gonna ignore all that today because today we are going on a wine tour. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, wine tours are so funny because you could just like start drinking wine at 11 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, we're getting picked up at 10:15, so we have a little bit of time to kind of explore the property, get some breakfast, and then head out. Let's go find my mom. So as I walk around for a minute trying to find my mom, first of all, how beautiful is this? We're staying here at Chute Lake Lodge, which is a lodge here in Naramata, and it is, I don't know how many acres it is. I will put it on the screen if it's on their website, but they have like glamping tents, yurts, tent camping available. You can bring your van here and camp in your van, and we are staying in a cabin, which is, oh my god,
it's so beautiful. So right behind me is the lodge. Right in front of me are some of the glamping tents. I think it's gonna be a pretty fair guess that my mom is by the water. So let's go find her. I found her.
Directory up there about the KVR.
Yeah.
Shows the whole map of how.
So which way is the... Both ways?
Well, it actually ends at Chute Lake. I mean, this is the KVR. This is the railroad line, right? It connects, so you can go all the way to Kelowna. All right.
Okay, let's go. Now, after some breakfast at the lodge, it's time to get ready for our wine tour. And I'm not gonna go looking like this.
Today we were introduced to Jess, who runs eco-friendly wine tours out of her Tesla. And we were off to our first winery on our tour, which was Roche Wines.
Yeah. So we've arrived at our first winery of the day, which is Roche Wines. And I'm so excited to try, so let's go check it out.
Bienvenue! Welcome to Roche.
I admittedly don't know much about wine other than the fact that I love to drink it. So Roche was the perfect first stop since Jordan taught us some wine tasting etiquette and lingo and guided us through the amazing tasting experience of old world versus new world wines.
Okay, so garagiste was a term because if you look at Europe, most of it was like, big maisons, big chateaus, big stately, a lot of opulence because, that was multi-generational. You look at 200-300 years of history and a lot of the family, the legacies that went into them, right?
Back to our Tesla.
Then we drove to Tightrope Winery, which is a small family-run sustainable winery on the Naramata Bench. And it is the first certified member of Sustainable Wine Growing BC.
We'll have to do a test later. Mm-hmm. Can you test which wine this is?
This view though.
Lunchtime had us sitting at Serendipity Winery, where we sat and chatted with the owner, Judy Kingston. She told us a remarkable story about how she stumbled into winemaking. After having worked as a lawyer in Toronto, to getting into a life-altering accident, to taking a vacation in BC and seeing this orchard for sale, to converting it into the vineyard that it is today, her journey truly was serendipitous. The day was supposed to be about wine, but it ended up being about making connections with the people who call this area home.
I've been calling this my limo wine. I feel just rich and opulent when I'm tasting it.
Good, hey? Okay, your Tesla.
Splash of Pinot Meunier, bone dry, traditional method sparkling.
Our last stop of the day was Nickel Vineyard, and as it seems to be going, we chatted for hours as if we had been friends for ages.
If we were to eat, we have to go to Age of Tail.
But there's a pass-through.
And because Jess is the best host ever, before dinner we parked up with a view, ate treats, and drank some, I'll let her say it,
motherfucking nitro cold brew.
Just got back from our beautiful wine tour and now we are rushing. Well, not rushing, okay? We had 20 minutes. Look. Oh, he's down there now. So we are going dinner at the lodge. But there's a little animal right over here. There's like teenagers playing on the swing sets right now, and they're like, it's funny because they're on the swings, just like, and then there's like a swear word, but it's still really peaceful.
I win. So I get $20,000.
Payday. 4, 5, 6, 7. Stop to get married.
Would you pay the 1,000? 1,000. You got married?
Yeah.
Stop. It's your husband or your wife.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Okay, so we slept in a little bit at Chute Lake, almost like we drank a million glasses of wine yesterday, and had a really nice sleep, and then woke up this morning and it's kind of, yesterday was definitely our sunniest day. So we'll see what it's like later this afternoon, but we're here back at the Chute Lake Lodge bistro and are about to have some coffee and breakfast. I, for one, could really use a coffee this morning, but our fridge is also like filled with all these leftovers of all these amazing things that we've eaten in the past couple of days, and super looking forward to having a coffee right now. And this morning we're splitting the avocado toast, which looks absolutely stunning, in coffee with, I think, oat milk or almond milk. They have both here. Already feeling much better. It is actually crazy how much I'm missing Nick today. I just miss him so much. I just know that he'd love it. Here, like the mix between being out in nature like this and the wine and the good food, it's just like truly everything that we love together. But it's really nice being here with my mom too, because not everyone gets to have these trips, you know? Today we were meant to go take out the e-bikes that they have for rental here at Chute Lake Lodge. So that's something that they rent out here, as well as kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, which is amazing. Like, I love shit like that. But because I hurt my hand playing softball a few weeks ago, well, it wasn't even a few weeks ago, it was last Tuesday, I don't really trust myself on like on the bike. The bike, it's just like, we're like off-road, you know? So it's kind of like, I think that we'll be able to find something pretty nice that won't hurt my hand this morning. We are driving down the old KVR, which feels absolutely wild because, I mean, it's usually people ride their bikes down here, and a lot of cyclists don't even know that you can drive on this portion of the KVR. So you kind of have to go slow. I mean, you definitely have to go slow. And it's like this tight, definitely one-way road. And we're just saying, if we were in the ambulance right now, there'd be definitely nowhere to, you'd have to back up all the way out here. I mean, I think you would anyway. Okay, this may be it. Yeah, people really don't know you can park here. Pretty crazy, man. Wow. Wow is right. This is pretty cool.
The weather wasn't the best, as the Okanagan is usually bright and sunny, but we wanted to see just how eco-friendly we could get with our wine tours. And today we were without a Tesla, but we found the Aitkin's Loop and started at Deep Roots Winery.
And he's actually 4th generation on this property. Beautiful.
I know.
Yeah, May.
We can use all of everything we've learned to identify them.
That's why we're here.
Today we are doing something that I personally have never done before or even heard of before, and that's a walking wine tour. So we started at Deep Roots Winery and just had a conversation with Will and Heather. And Will is the 4th generation winemaker at this beautiful vineyard. They have now kind of collaborated with these other wineries in the area, which is so beautiful, and kind of encourage people to go on these walking wine tours. So we started at Deep Roots. Now we're going to Elephant Island Winery.
Here we sat under the trees and ended up talking to winemaker Miranda about life, wine, travel, and family at great length. Then I have to admit I was a little starstruck by JoieFarm, since we have definitely drank their wine in Vancouver before, and after walking 1.5 kilometers, we were hungry.
And apparently a Naramata classic, we got Real Things pizza, and we're gonna go eat it at Center Beach. Just went for a little walk to the lake, and there was multiple people burning fires, and we're like, oh my god, there's a fire ban. Like, as of last night, we asked to go in the sauna here, and we couldn't because there's a fire ban. We haven't been using our wood burning stove here because there's a fire ban. And then all of a sudden we're seeing all these fires, and we're like, uh-oh. So we were like, oh, is the fire ban over? And they're like, yes, I'm like, woohoo! Fire ban is off as of like today. So we're gonna have a little fire. We just ordered some firewood from the lodge, and I'm so excited because it's definitely not something that I was expecting for tonight, but here we are, and here we go. Guys, usually Nick does the fire. I don't think I've ever built a fire in my entire life. But nothing you can't learn from YouTube, right? Ta-da! So we have something to do in the next 30 minutes here, but we are downtown Naramata, and we decided to just stop at Just Baked, which is a little coffee shop here, and I got an iced chai with oat, and they put a little bit of cinnamon on top, which is genius. Why have I never done that in my whole life? And then my mom got a nice latte. Luckily, we're not very far from our next destination because the downtown is basically a span of 2 blocks. But really beautiful and really good quality stuff down here, so this will give me fuel for sure. And the lovely people at N SUP have hooked us up with paddle boards, so we're gonna go take them right out on the water. Okay guys, oh my god, I am back in the van, and I actually have a proper cast on my hand now. I went to the hospital and I have a torn ligament in my thumb, so that was what was going on the whole time. But I just want to say this trip in Naramata was truly so beautiful and so amazing. And like I said earlier, it quickly became about the people that we met, the connections that we made. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you to Discover Naramata for bringing us out. And of course, a big thank you to my mom who came on this trip with me last minute, and we honestly had the best time. And I know that not everybody is able to take trips with their mom like this. So I am very, very grateful to be able to do this, especially because we have been traveling for so many years and have not spent a lot of time back in Vancouver. So I haven't been able to take a trip like that with my mom, and I mean, I don't even know when. So for that alone, I am forever grateful, and we will see you guys in the next video. Also, if you missed Nick this week, tell him that he really took one for the team this week. And yeah, anyways, thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.